Hey there, this is Jen Tokenyuk with digitalceo.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how to put a Pinterest widget in the sidebar of your WordPress blog. So first we're going to go to developers.pinterest.com/tools/widget-builder. And once we get there, there's a few different options, but to put the Pinterest widget in your sidebar, there's two choices. You can either choose the board option or the profile option. Now, I prefer the board option because if you choose the profile option, here's what happens. The profile option is going to show everything that you've pinned recently. So your most recent pins are going to show up here. Now, if you'll notice, most of these aren't mine. I don't just pin my own content all day long. So I don't want to be featuring other people's content on my personal blog. So that's why I don't like using the profile option. Instead, I like using the board option. Okay. So when you use the board option, you get to choose your favorite board, which should be your featured board from your Pinterest profile. So my featured board only has my own pins on it. And then you're going to create your own size because everybody has a different size of their sidebar. For example, mine is 340 pixels wide. And if I was to do this, this looks pretty good to me. If you only want to have 3 images across, so they're a little bit bigger, you can just change the width. And then, you can see exactly what it's going to look like before you put it on your blog. So if you want it to be longer and more square, you can do that here. And then you know exactly what it's going to look like before you put it on there. Now, go ahead and scroll down here and you're going to just copy this code. Okay. So then go over to your WordPress blog, go under Appearance and go to Widgets. And when you do, this is going to bring up all the widget options that you have. So you're going to add a custom HTML widget. I add mine to my primary sidebar because in Genesis and the theme that I use, that's where it goes. And then just go ahead and paste that in here. You don't need to put a title or anything else, and go ahead and hit save. All right, so now if I go to the home page of my blog and refresh it, we will see down at the bottom that this is going to add this widget down at the bottom of my blog. And it's working on it. Okay, so now that we have this widget down here, you'll notice that you can scroll through. It's going to pull up every single pin that's on that board over at Pinterest. And when you click on these specific pins, it actually takes you to the pin itself, not to your profile. So then someone could, potentially pin that pin for later, or, head back to your blog if it wasn't for the same post that we were just on. Okay. So the reason that I don't prefer doing it this way is because really I don't want to take people off of my blog. The whole point is to use Pinterest to get people to my blog, not to send them away to another pin. I'd rather have them actually find these exact posts through my navigation. So instead, what I do recommend doing is go ahead and take a screen grab, add it to your blog, take a screen grab. If you're on a Mac, it's Shift-Command-3. I don't know what it is on a PC. But you'll end up getting a screen grab where then you can take an actual picture of this. So what that'll look like is go ahead and go back here and let's delete this. Okay. And then we're going to add an image widget instead. Okay. So now we're going to go in, and I've already screen grabbed this. So this is what that would look like, that image that I just got. And then I'm going to attach this to my Pinterest main board, because really I don't want people going directly to pins. If anything, if I'm sending people to Pinterest, I want them to follow my boards so that they're constantly seeing me in their Pinterest feed over there. So I'm just going to attach that directly to my Pinterest board. So now if we take a look at this and we go back over to my blog again, let's go ahead and refresh this real quick. And we go down to the bottom. Okay, now I do need to make this wider, obviously, to go with my blog, but you get the idea. Now, this is just an image, so it's not going to scroll all this. It doesn't take the same amount of time to load as the Pinterest widget does, because the Pinterest widget, it has to pull all those images over to your blog before any of your pages on your blog can load. So with this, you've got a much smaller image, and now when we click it, it's going to take us directly to my main Pinterest profile, where the first thing that they're going to see there is a button to follow all of my boards as soon as it loads. And there you go. If it wasn't me, there would be a follow button here, but I can't follow myself. Okay, and then one other thing to note, if you do want to put the clickable Pinterest widget in your blog, because I had mine there for a long time, it's just I recently changed it. Don't forget that if you're putting a widget or any of the follow buttons, because there's save buttons, there's follow buttons. I use the save buttons on my blog itself. Make sure that you copy this code because it has to go in your body closing tag on the blog. So let me show you how to do that, just in case you don't know. Go over to Appearance and go to Customize. And when you do that, it's going to take you to Theme Settings. So we click on Theme Settings, and then we are going to be looking for our header and footer scripts. Okay, so down here in the header and footer script, the first thing you're going to do is go ahead and paste that piece of code that we just pulled. If you want to have a cute little round Pinterest button pop up on your images on your blog, like I have, you'll go ahead and add this additional script here, the data pin hover equals true, and the round, and then tall, because I like mine big so that they can be seen. Not everybody has the Chrome extension to allow people to pin to their blog. So we as bloggers, we tend to have that, but we want regular, internet searchers coming to our blogs. That's where our real traffic comes from. So we want to make it as easy as possible for people coming to our blogs to be able to pin our information. So if you see this, like, let's go back to my blog just for fun one more time, because I'll show you that I have both, because that's what I do around the internet, is I run around and I pin other people's things. So you'll see on my page that not only do I have the round pin it button that I added through that footer script, but see how I also have a save button back there? That save button is coming from my Pin It Chrome extension that lives up here. But not everybody has that, so it won't look duplicate like it does on mine on other people's. And then I also do have share buttons, because I really want to make it easy, again, for people to be able to save the information that they find on my blog. So if you pulled this up, for example, it's going to pull up all the images on this page. On some pages it does, and on some doesn't. I wrote a whole blog post about how to optimize your blog for Pinterest, how to hide images that you don't want pinned, and how to make sure to showcase the ones that you do. So I will drop a link to that below this video and in my blog post as well. And thanks so much for tuning in.